Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and today we're going to be talking basically about the CSA T20 challenge, and I'm also going to react to the interview that I did with John O'Bird. I'm going to be playing it here for you guys, and I'm going to react to it so that you guys can also have a look at what I was said, and then we can maybe go into a little bit of detail regarding it as well, because I feel that it does deserve a little bit more attention and a little bit more detail, because I did the interview, but sometimes when players do speak about certain things, they might not get everything out um, like they want to, obviously, say right there when the camera is on. But there are some topics of discussion that I think is relevant for us as well on the show, and I would like to get your guys' opinion on it and your thoughts on those particular talking points when it comes to the various topics that were discussed in that interview. So we will discuss that on today's show. I will play it for you guys so that you guys can have a listen to it as well, and give your thoughts on it, and I will react to it on the channel. But as well, I would like you guys to also give me your thoughts on teams that are going to be facing off in the CSA T20 challenge tomorrow. We will be doing a little preview, just having a look at the different teams that are taking part in tomorrow's game. I'll be at Newlands tomorrow for the Western Province game, and it will be live on Supersport. So that also will be awesome from a TV perspective. So you guys will obviously be having the same access to a decent stream, I would say. When it comes to that particular channel, I will try my best from the ground to do a live show. If that doesn't work out, and if you guys won't maybe see me go live from the ground, then I will try my best to do a live from the ground from my phone, just to give you guys an update of what's happening maybe at the ground, because with the Wi-Fi at the stadium and stuff, sometimes it can be quite tricky, and it's not always very stable. So I will try my best to give you guys maybe a little bit of you could say a watch along while the game is on from the ground, because the game starts at 6 o'clock, which is the time that I'll be streaming this show, normally the daily show. So if there isn't a show tomorrow, please understand, and don't hate me for it, because I will be covering the game, and I will be at Newlands for the Western Province game. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into today's show, and talk about all the topics that I wanted to talk about on today's show. But before we get going, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And if you have a small business or medium enterprise and you're looking to market to a cricket audience effectively and affordably, then there's no other viable option but Cricket Fanatics Magazine. So please go ahead and go to Cricket Fanatics Mag dot go to business corner at cricketfanaticsmag.com, and you will get an awesome breakdown of what we offer, and a strategy on where we are going with this. And you can always book a call with us and have a further discussion to see how we fit into your business. So go ahead and check that out as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. A very good evening, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Boy, guys, I'm sorry. That intro was a little bit dull. My head is a little bit, I wouldn't say, no, a little bit dizzy. But I'm feeling it today for some reason. I do. I mean, I generally throughout the year I do intermittent fasting anyway, so it's not like I'm not used to fasting. I've been fasting all my life since I was a kid, since I was 4 or 5 years old. But for some reason today I'm feeling quite hungry, and I don't know what's gotten over me because I've been intermittent fasting throughout the year, and I don't seem to. It doesn't seem to phase me in those times. But today, for some reason, I'm feeling it. It is what it is. And I'm trying my best to fight it through, but it's only an hour left, so it's not that long to go. It's probably just when I get to certain stages of the day, probably around lunchtime or when I normally would break my fast when I'm intermittent fasting, which is around 12 o'clock. I'll get a bit hungry around there, and then I'll get a hungry maybe an hour before the time. But yesterday was fine. I didn't feel it at all. But today, for some reason, feeling a little bit, yeah, feeling a little bit hungry. But it is Ramadan, and that's how it is, and that's why we've moved the show to 6 o'clock to be able to accommodate that. Because obviously we break our fast around 7, so that's just some inside information about my life, other than cricket. So I'm going to start off with the John O'Bird interview that I did today. I went down to Newlands. We were invited down to Newlands as media to be able to watch the training and also try and get an opportunity to see the players, the players in the net sessions, and as well, what we got an opportunity as well to go behind the scenes and see the photo shoot of Western Province. It was quite funny actually to see Carl Verreynne and David Bedingham, who are generally quite serious oaks, having to model a little bit in front of the camera and do some poses. It was quite funny. I was having a chuckle at the back behind the scenes there while I was shooting, but they did quite well, I must say. And then I got an opportunity to talk to John O'Bird, and it's been a long time since I've last caught up with him. So that is also something that I thought should be mentioned. Kelly saying Ramadan Mubarak Khalid. Don't think the weather in Cape Town makes it easier either. No, it doesn't. It is quite difficult. But I mean, it's okay. I think I'm used to it now. We've had some times where it was much worth. Kelly asking, is Bedders here? Thought he was in Durham. Yeah, he was in Durham, but it was to do with passports. He had to stay there for a certain amount of time so that his passport is valid or whatever. And then he came down back for the CSA T20 challenge. This is his main contract ultimately with Western Province. So yeah, he is back, and he played in the first 2 games so far. So this is going to be the third game. I had a little chat with him as well. He seems in good spirits. So yeah, that was cool. But let me get into the but quick news around the CSA T20 challenge. The guys in the IPL have left. So we're going to see a mix up of players now coming into the team and coming to perform. So the guys that you guys were complaining about didn't um, the guys that you see that didn't play so far, and you guys were upset that they didn't get a chance because obviously there's certain things that have kept them out of the team. Either transformation targets have made it difficult to select them, and then some players that also just didn't get selected because there were Proteas players in the side as well. Those guys are now going to get the opportunity. So we're going to probably see a lot younger squads operate. Like, for example, at the Titans, you could see the likes of Leandro Pretorius and Steve Stokes come into the mix. So that's going to be something that I think is also going to be interesting to see if they get the opportunity to start. But the teams that will struggle with regards to this will mainly be probably the Warriors, who will be missing Tristan Stubbs and will be missing Marco Janssen. I think they will struggle to maybe replace them. Then with the Dolphins side, there is nobody really missing from the Dolphins side besides David Miller, but he hasn't played in any of the games because obviously he got married. In the Western Province side, Nande Berger leaves. We know that in the Lions side, we've got quite a few. You've got Actually, you got none. Not quite a few. I'm talking rubbish. Only KG Rabada that's going to be going to the IPL. In the Rock side, there's nobody that comes to mind. No. But in the Titan side, there's going to be a massive shuffle. Aiden Markram, Heinrich Klaassen, Tabresh, none of Tabresh Shamsi didn't get picked up. So Deva Brevis. So it's very likely that we're going to see some of the younger guys come in over there and get an opportunity in that in the round 3 of the tournament. With regards to the fixtures in this particular match, we have the Dolphins versus the Lions, a massive game. That's going to be quite an interesting clash. Then we've got the Titans versus the Warriors, also another exciting one. And we've got Western Province versus. Wait, am I reading this correctly? Yes, I am. Lions, Western Province versus Northwest, and Multiple Titans versus the Tuffelbet Warriors, and Lions versus the Dolphins. Those are the games that will be happening tomorrow. Interesting. Only 3 matches. So the Tuskers won't be playing tomorrow. Wait, there's something weird is happening here. Let me just open up the fixtures that I have on my desktop. Yeah, only 3 games happening tomorrow. Strange how that is worked out. And then 3 games are played on Friday. 3 games are played on Sunday. So why are they suddenly playing 3 games all of a sudden? And then it will be a stint of 2 games at the end of the tournament. Strange. But anyway, that is what it is. So there's 3 games tomorrow. Gonna be interesting to see what the squads line up with and who they select for the starting 11s. It is getting towards a kind of the business end of not the business end to the middle start to the start of this tournament where people can really kick on and start to take a lead. That's going to be the main thing I feel for most teams is trying to take that lead. The Warriors are currently leading. They have 10 points, 3 bonus points, I think it is. It's not showing here on this particular table. The Lions are in second place with 9 points, 2 wins. Western Province 2 wins, 9 points. Titans 2 wins, 8 points, and then the rest don't have any points. Dolphins, Rocks, Tuskers, and Northwest Dragons. So literally tomorrow we're going to be seeing teams that have points versus teams that don't have points. Basically, you've got like I said, the Hollywood Pets Dolphins no points. The Lions have 2. Western Province have played 2 and 1-2, and they're playing the Northwest Dragons. And then the Multiply Titans have 1-2, and Warriors have 1-2. So that's going to be the main clash, I feel, of tomorrow when it comes to the clash of the 3rd round. So let's see who stands up and who performs in that one. And ultimately, it's going to be an opportunity for Western Province to pull away now, and also the Lions to maybe pull away from the Dolphins. both have very talented teams and talented sides. So it's going to be very interesting to see what takes place over there. Okay, let me get into the John O'Bird interview. I would like to just react to it live on the show. It is on the channel for you guys to go back and watch it. I just want to um, try and talk about certain talking points that I feel are important when it comes to the interview. So let me just start playing it for you guys here. Fanatics Magazine, and today with another exclusive interview. I'm here with John O'Bird. We're going to be catching up. We haven't spoken in a long time. So, first and foremost, John, how are you doing? I mean, you're coming off a great performance in the CSA T20 Challenge recently. But how are you feeling in general, and where your cricket is at currently?
Yeah, thank you for having me. We haven't chatted in a while, but good to be back. I'm feeling pretty good after the first two games of the T20 comp. Obviously early in the tournament and hoping to carry on with the form. Didn't play too much four-day cricket. I think I only played one game. And then throughout the one-day comp, we won it. I would have liked to have played a bit better, but I mean, the team won the tournament, so that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, so I had to ask him this because the last time we spoke, we were really talking about planning the future. The last time I spoke to him, we were talking about how he's going to be planning out the rest of his career, how he wants to try and push for, like, emerging sides, SAA sides, etc. I felt that he's been quite unlucky, and I've spoken about it on the show, and in this interview you will hear it too, and you'll hear the details a little bit more fleshed out over here. He kind of brushes over it, but what he says is very important. If you listen to the details, he talks quite calmly about it, but when you actually listen to the details, you'll pick up that he's actually quite serious. And I want to go a little bit more into this next question, and maybe talk to you guys about that a little bit more. Yeah. So what's been the reason why you haven't played as much cricket as you'd like to this season?
I think injuries play a big part too. I mean, I'm young, but I've been picking up a lot of hamstring and groin injuries at the moment, which doesn't really help. I play a game or two, and then my injury will come and kind of ruin my momentum, and then get dropped or whatever, and then it's hard to get back in with the team playing well. But yeah.
You see, now that's very important over there because this is quite a fit guy. I mean, John O'Bird played first team rugby for Bishops, first team cricket for Bishops. He was a very athletic player and athletic person. He also jumps a hell of a lot, which you'll mention in the interview. So for him to be picking up groin and hamstring injuries, it's very strange at his age, so young, to be picking them up so many times. And he has been picking them up quite a bit recently. So it is a bit of a shame, and it is a bit of a setback for him, because he's been a player that was on the rise, and really starting to find his feet at Western Province, and especially at the Cobras, when it's still called the Cobras. So he's still young though, and he still has an opportunity. But it is quite worrying that he picks up those type of injuries. Hamstrings and groin injuries are sometimes, they normally happen with overexerting yourself. Basically, normally, most of the time. I'm no physio, but I think that's most of the time when it happens. I mean, that's brilliant actually from a educational point of view for other young cricketers, because I've actually said that on the show plenty of times. People have asked where you are, and I've said that you've been facing a lot of injuries very young in your career. Is there any tips that you can give to other youngsters that may be going through the same difficulties, because it can really stall your career?
I mean, I look after my health. I gym a lot, maybe a bit too much, put too much pressure on my body, but I eat healthy and all of that. So I do feel like I'm a bit unlucky in terms of injuries, because I feel like I'm fit and healthy, and then out of nowhere I'll pick up an injury. But yeah, I mean, don't try push your injury too much. If you are injured, take time to recover, and then get back to it. But yeah, don't rush anything if you do get injured. That's one tip I can give you.
And with regards to physiotherapy, how massive of a role does that play in your development and your coming back and nursing yourself back to health?
Definitely plays a big role. I mean, it definitely quickens up the process of getting back on the field. We have a great physio over here at Western Province, so I'm very grateful for him. I'm on the bed quite often, so I've got to thank him a lot. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we don't actually give credit to physiotherapists enough. I think the difficulty of the job, and the importance of the role to get our players fit and playing consistently, and also getting them back from massive injuries. Uh, Kelly says his last groin injury was definitely out of nowhere. I was there, and he pulled up while he was batting. Looked worse than it turned out to be. Um, Yeah, I mean that's exactly the problem with these type of injuries, like especially hamstring and groin injuries. They do kind of happen out of nowhere. You can be running fine, sprinting, having a great and having a great run previously, a couple of runs to the boundary, and then all of a sudden you just pull up. So it's good that he's back again, because I mean he's really been missing out on a hell of a lot of great memories. But at least he was there to witness Western Province. He didn't get to play as much in as he would like this season, but this is, I feel, is the time for him to really right those wrongs, and try and salvage something out of the season for himself personally.
With regards to being ready for this tournament, coming out there and then obviously getting a half century now in the latest game, how are you currently feeling with your game in the T20 format, and what are your aspirations in this particular format?
Yeah, I think the opening game in Durban, it was quite a tough wicket to actually go out and play your shots on. So I kind of figured out I couldn't really find the boundaries, but if I worked my ones and twos, I could take the team to a competitive total, which I think 148 maybe wasn't par, but we got the win. And then, yeah, the other day at Newlands, I kind of came in and everything came out the middle. So I was happy about that. And then I don't really look too far forward. I take each game as it comes, and then hopefully I can keep contributing.
Yeah, that 40 that he scored in Durban was something. It's good to see, because it wasn't necessarily as quick as the half century or the 60 odd that he scored at Newlands against the Tuskers. I mean, he was really hitting the ball cleanly out of the middle, down the ground. He was fantastic. So he's really looking good, and it's great to see him live. And I urge you guys to come down to the stadium tomorrow, at Newlands, to see him perform again live. I mean, it will be an awesome opportunity for you guys to maybe see some live cricket. It's after work, probably around 6, so it would be nice for you guys to come down. I'll be there as well, so we can all have a discussion if you guys are in the area and you want to watch some cricket live, and see John O'Bird in action. I mean, he's in incredible form. Let's hope that he can continue it in tomorrow's game.
So you come from the generation where social media is obviously massive. Everybody's posting videos online, and obviously there's criticism online that happens as well. You guys are a lot more exposed to it. I would say this generation is a lot more exposed to that than the previous generations. You would have to wait probably the weekend or the week to see it in the newspaper. But now, as soon as you're out there in the middle, you can see a tweet or you can see something that's crazy. How have you managed to manage that specific difficulty of being in the social media age, when to use it, when not to use it, how to block out criticism and all of those type of things?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't comment on back in the day, but nowadays, I mean, if you have negative comments, it's pretty much right there in front of you. You can't really ignore it. But for me, I don't really look too much into that. Even like the positive comments, I mean, I'll take that in, I'll be appreciative of it. But then, if you do perform badly or whatever, you could get a negative comment. So you shouldn't really look too much into it. Just know that you have to go out there and do what you can do.
And with
You see, it's nowhere near as hectic as in the football world, where there are teenagers playing for Premier League clubs and getting slated every left, right, and center. But I think because it's a lot more isolated in cricket, you it's harder to actually to drag to you're not getting as many notifications coming through to you at a time. So the amount of action that you will be getting will be quite low. So the chances of you seeing what is being said is also quite high. So the problem over here will be with them managing their mental health specifically, especially when they're in a bad space. Luckily, though, in domestic cricket in South Africa, nobody's really going down to the ground and watching it. So the amount of criticism that gets thrown their way isn't really as hectic. But I did have to ask him about this current age, because when things are going well and when things are when the game is being seen by quite a few people, social media comes into the equation, and you have to kind of find a way on how to handle it. And it's important for the modern day player to find a way on how to deal with the pressures of social media, and also find a way on how to block it out when it is getting quite hectic and critical. The problem with it is it can be used for marketing and it can be used for their personal brands. And I did ask him that next. Kelly says, I see a lot of players actually stay off social media for the most part, and that is true. But it is something that we need to learn to live with. Even myself, I mean, I try to stay with social media as well. I'm not a big fan of social media and being active on my personal accounts all the time. Uh, I don't know. I'm not into the whole buzz, but um, it does get important when it comes to certain aspects of business and the industry as well.
With regards to using it as a tool to market yourself and your career and stuff like that, do you see it as a massive part of you as an individual in this space?
For me, I'm really not really outgoing in a way. I don't really have my brand image out there on social media, which I'm
You're
looking
very
to try and
awkward.
change. I know it can play a huge role in your career going forward for deals or sponsors or whatever. So I'm looking to put out more content, show people what I'm more about if they want to look at that. I don't know if people would like to look at that, but yeah, I would like to improve on that side of my game too.
Awesome. And John, this lastly, I just want to ask you the impact of 4-day cricket and on your game, regardless of the format. A lot of cricketers have spoken about how it can actually help your T20 game or your 50 over game. Do you feel that youngsters need to play 4-day cricket so that they can improve every facet of the game in other formats?
I definitely think 4-day cricket is crucial for every cricketer. You learn a lot out there. I mean, you learn more about your game than anything. You learn to be mentally strong, physically strong, and you learn a lot about your game out there because you have to grind and work hard. I know T20 is a completely different game, but I do feel like if you do well on 4-day cricket, you can bring it into T20 with a good technique, good strong options and all of that. So it can play a huge role in T20 cricket too.
Perfect, John. Thanks a lot, and I'll chat to you again soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, awesome to catch up with him again, because I mean it has been a long time since I spoke to him. But I first thought that I'll share that with you guys as well on the live show, and this just take you through the different points, because yeah, I've spoken a lot about 4-day cricket and the importance of 4-day cricket and how it can actually help cricketers, particularly the younger cricketers, to learn certain aspects that can help them in the shorter formats too. But not only that, it will teach them how to become better cricketers. It will help them, it will aid them in becoming better cricketers. And I hope that doesn't get lost to the next generation, that this T20 hype doesn't take over them and they feel that only need to play that format to get success in the game. I hope that they do put emphasis on red ball cricket, because it will teach them aspects that they can take into all of their formats and all other spectrums of their game, and it will improve them from a mental perspective, physical perspective, as well as a technical perspective. And I think all three of those wheels are important to find that sweet spot in your game. So it's something that they need to do, and I'm happy that John did give advice on and give some insight to the younger generation on how first class cricket has actually helped him and how important it is to him. So yeah, that's today's show, guys. I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. I've read out the fixtures for tomorrow as well. It will be obviously the Dolphins versus the DP World Lions, and that will be at 6 o'clock. Then it will be the Western Province versus Northwest, and then it is the Titans versus the Warriors. And I think it is all. I think they're playing in Durban. Let's check this quickly. Yes, they're playing in Durban, Newlands, and probably. Come on, this website's so slow. And at Centurion, I think. Yeah, so Centurion Newlands, and Durban. I also had a long chat today with Bram, the groundsman at Newlands. He actually made it apparent that he does watch the shows, so he's seen some of your comments around the wickets, etc., and things happening with regards to the preparation of wicket. And I learned a hell of a lot from him. I hope I can get him on a show sometime to actually discuss it in detail and what it takes to make to get a wicket behaving like you actually wanted to. He gave me a lot of information that is off the record, so I'm not going to be mentioning it on today's show. I'm going to keep that between the two of us and the conversation that we had. But what I want to say is that I've learned a hell of a lot about wickets and about how it's prepared and about how things work behind the scenes with regards to getting that wicket prepared, on how the planning takes place with regards to getting it ready for a season and for particular tournaments. So I think I'll be able to educate you guys a lot better now when it comes to me talking about the wicket, particularly at Newlands, yes, but generally speaking, all around the grounds. And I've come to learn also some of the struggles that our groundsmen face in South Africa. So it was awesome to actually chat to him as well and get some information from him. But anyway, guys, I have to go and help prepare some things for tonight. So thanks a lot for joining in. Please subscribe to the channel, click that notification bells for all future videos. Thanks a lot for tuning in and giving me your time. Please note that tomorrow I might not have a show. You might see me go live from the ground, and I'll sit with you guys and maybe talk to you a little bit from the ground. I'll try my best to do so, but the chance of a daily show before tomorrow from the ground might be highly unlikely, but we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys. Obviously, you'll see me go live if you click the notification bell. But thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining me in the live chat, and I'll see you guys again very soon for another daily show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening and peace out.